Hey, wake up. Time for some more rankings. We're looking at teams ranked 49 through 40th in last year's Summer Classic held in good old Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. These are the teams that were ranked 49 through 40th. Arbitrarily, no, definite science behind it, but this is just how we feel they played out. So last week we looked at some teams, 59 through 50. Pandemics was 59th, 58th, DDHB, both from Spokane. 57th was Riding the Pine, also from Spokane. Hit Talkers, 56 from Kalispell. 55 was the Incredibles out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. 54, DWSW from Spokane. Sadly, won't be in the tournament this year. Same with the Leftovers. Number 53 had been in for 4 years, but won't be back this year. Number 52 is Bat Around, Stacy's team from Coeur d'Alene. 51, H3 Firearms. And number 50 was Northwest, Showtime North. Okay, we dab right into the 40s, and we started number 49 with Fam Bam. Fam Bam was from Spokane. It was their first tournament appearance. Team captain, Tanya Fields Hurley. This is their first tournament appearance, like I said. They played out of Group L, where they went 3-0, so they went undefeated, and they won Group L. They beat Bat Around 12-10. Then they beat Team Day Drunk from Missoula 16-4, and then a pretty big win against Big Sky PR from Kalispell 17-0. I put them in the nickel division, where they were looking for a championship there. They started out with out of Plants Ferry, where they took on DWSW in the quarterfinals. They got a first round bye. They won 12-2. They 10-runned them. Then they played Bat Around from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and this was a low-scoring kind of defensive battle. They won 9-3, so that put them in the championship against Showtime Northwest, who also had a great run. And this is one of the better championship division games. They beat them 16-15 to win the nickel division. They also went undefeated, and they're in this year's tournament. Bam Bam at number 49. Okay, number 48 is the Sausage Slingers. Sorry about the out-of-focus picture here. Sausage Slingers, this was the last team that signed up for the tournament last year, and it was their first tournament appearance. They're from Spokane, Washington, run by Evan Douglas. So no 2021 rank, obviously, for their first time being in. They played out of Group A, where they went 0-3. They lost to the B-Town Heroes in their first game, 5-4, in a very big defensive battle, obviously. And then another close game against the Huboffs Landscaping from Coeur d'Alene, 18-15. And another close game against Riding the Pine. So 3 very close games in round-robin play. They lost to Riding the Pine 15-11. So that put them in the Copper Division, where they played in the first round. They got to open up out at Memorial Field against Westside, which had a great tournament run. So maybe not the best team to open up against looking back. But Westside from Missoula, Montana, they lost 20-10. So currently we're not sure if Evan's team is back in or not. They've been kind of on the fence. But number 48, Sausage Slingers from Spokane, Washington. Okay, we come in at number 47. This is NFD from Spokane, Washington. Used to be called, I can't remember what they used to be called, but they had a different name back in the day. This is their 8th tournament appearance. Jackie and Dallas Williams run this team. In 2021, they were ranked 49th. This year, they come in at 47th. So they played out a Group L, and they went 0-3. They played Majestic Builders and lost 14-2. They lost to Reds Bar 17-8. And then they also lost to the Diamond Mafia 12-4. So some pretty tough games that they had on their plate there. They went to the Copper Division and started out at Ramsey 3, and they took on the Box Office Hitters. And this is one of the more improved teams, Box Office Hitters. We'll talk about them later on in the tournament. And what I thought was going to be a competitive game obviously wasn't. It was an 18-3 loss for NFD. But this team will be back this year, and I apologize about the blurry picture in this one as well. We're going to have to work on my focus. But anyways, NFD, number 47, looking forward to having them back this year. Okay, number 46 is another first-time team in the tournament from last year. Sit on My Bases from Spokane, Washington. This is Lindsay Ellenberger's team. She actually put in 2 teams last year, one of the few coaches who do that. So this team played in Group E, where they went 2-1. They had a pretty good group round robin. They beat Sage Creek 21-6 in a pretty convincing win. In a very good game against Shenanigans, a tournament veteran team. They lost 20-17, and then really took it to Sucker Punch 15-1. So that put them at 2-1. That put them in the Copper Division, where they started out at Ramsey 4 against Strife Sports, a team that's been in the tournament for a number of years, from Missoula, Montana, in the first round. They lost 23-12. Strife Sports, like Westside that we talked about a few teams earlier, had a great run in this Copper Division. So a tough team looking back, was tough to open up against. Sit on My Bases is in the tournament this year, field currently, so looking forward to having them back for their second year. Number 46, Sit on My Bases. Okay, now we run into team number 45, and this is another team that's been in the tournament a number of years, the B-Town Heroes. This is their 6th tournament appearance. Out of Bonners Ferry, Idaho, Casey Salt has ran this team. In 2021, they were ranked 66th. This year, they moved all the way up to 45, so that's quite a jump for the team. They were playing out of Group A, where they went 1-1-1. 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 tie. They beat the Sausage Slingers in a low-scoring game, 5-4. Then they lost to Riding the Pines, 17-7, and then they tied Huboff's Landscaping late Saturday in round-robin play, 15-15. That put Casey's squad in the Copper Division, and they started out on Ramsey 2, where they played BSE, Big Stick Energy, in the first round, and they lost to them 21-5, ending their run. They were the Sportsmanship Award winners from this year, though, so always a great team, always a great group of people that Casey brings out. They are currently in the tournament this year, number 45, the B-Town Heroes from Bonners Ferry. Okay, now we move up to number 44. This is one of 2 teams that were named Down and Dirty. This is the Down and Dirty team from Coeur d'Alene. They used to be called the Misfits. This is their 3rd tournament appearance. Chris Heisman runs this team. In 2021, they were ranked 62nd, so they moved up quite a bit. They had a great tournament. Moved up from 62nd to 44th, so it's good to see teams progressing as they continue to play in the tournament. They were in Group Q, where they were the Group Q winners. They went undefeated. They went 3-0. They beat Sweet Spot from Coeur d'Alene 22-10, and then Crazy Hitters from Spokane, they beat them 11-6. And those guys out of Missoula in a really good game, 18-16. They won that game. So they brought in their undefeated record, and they got a first round bye. So they got to the quarterfinals, where they ran up against a BSE team that we just talked about with the B-Town Heroes team that was really on fire on Sunday. Out of Plants Ferry 1, they lost to them 26-5 in the quarterfinals. But overall, a good run for Down and Dirty from Coeur d'Alene. They are currently in this year's tournament at number 44 from last. Okay, we're up to number 43, and this is another first-time team over here in the Coeur d'Alene Classic. I think this team has been playing together a while, but this is the first time they made their way over to Coeur d'Alene. This is the 406 Warriors from Missoula, Montana. Shelby Swords runs this team. And they had a great first time coming over. They went 3-0 in Group I, which made them the Group I winners. They beat Pitch Please in a good matchup, 17-15. Took down Pandemics, 19-11 from Spokane, and the other Spokane team in their group, DDHB, in another good game. They won 18-15. So that put them in the Copper Division, where they started out at Plants Ferry 4, and another team that we talked about earlier. They ran into a team called the Box Office Hitters, who had a great tournament run. And they lost in the quarterfinals 17-3, since the 406 Warriors had a first-round bye with that 3-0 start. So anyways, 406 Warriors are currently in the field this year. I apologize for another blurry picture. We're going to try to clean that up this year for those blurry pictures that were out there. But yeah, a great first year for the 406 Warriors. Okay, number 42 comes in the Huboff's Landscaping. This is a team that has played in every tournament. This is their 12th tournament appearance. This is a team I know very well, because this is a team that I played on for 15 years or so. So we were ranked 52nd in 2021. We moved up to 42nd, so a better year for the Huboff Landscaping team. We played out of Group A, where we won that group. We went 2-0-1. We had a great game against Riding the Pine. We beat them 16-6. And then Sausage Slingers, we beat them 18-15 out of Plants Ferry. And then a 15-15 tie to end the game, to end the Saturday's play against the B-Town Heroes. So that put us in the Copper Division in Plants Ferry 1, where we took on Strife Sports, and this was a good game. We've played against Chris's team with a couple of my teams for a number of years, and Chris and friends from Strife Sports came up on the positive end of this one. They beat us 21-15 in the quarterfinals, knocking us out and continuing on their tournament run. So Huboff's Landscaping will be back in the tournament again this year. Number 42, Huboff's. This is another team that I know very well, the Corner Bar, number 41 ranked this year, or last year from the 2022 tournament. This is Amber Jordan's team out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Amber and friends have been in every tournament. They're one of the few teams that have played in every Summer Classic. They were playing out of Group M, where they won the group. They went 2-0-1. They beat Balls and Dolls from Spokane 27-9. Then they tied H3 Firearms from Missoula 12-12, and then really was on fire against Spades Constructions, beating them 20-1 the Spades team out of Sandpoint, Idaho. So that put Amber Bam, as she likes to be called, and friends in the Copper Division, where they started out at Plants Ferry 2, where they took on a West Side team in a very good game. They came up on the short end of things, 26-18. They lost in the quarterfinals. They had a first-round bye. Currently, Corner Bar is not in the tournament this year. They did not field a team for league, so this may be the end of the line, but I want to thank Corner Bar for all the years they've played. Thank you very much. Okay, and then the last team in the 40s is Alaska Elite. Our first time we've ever had a team from Alaska, which is a lot of fun. They play out of Juneau, Alaska. Kyle Schroll is the gentleman who runs the team. He actually played in Coeur d'Alene for the first part of the year and then moved back to Alaska and brought his friends down. So it's great to have them in their first tournament appearance. They went 0-3. They played out of Group B. They took on some tough competition. They played the free agents from Missoula. They lost 12-3. Then in an offensive shootout, they lost to the Lopez AWT team, 23-12. And then Flambabe, they lost to them as well, 16-4, which ended up being a really good team as well. That put them in the bronze division in a first round game against Outlaw Barbecue. We'll talk about them a little bit later, another one of Lindsay's teams from Spokane, where at Ramsey 1, they fell short 15-10. Currently, Kyle is going to bring his team back down again for another tournament run. We're looking forward to having Alaska Elite. I think they're going to be under a different name next time, but Alaska Elite number 40, and that rounds out the top 40 so far. We'll look at teams number 39 through 30 next.